Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samara Bharath and I'm the founder of Samara Bharath Ministries. I'm so glad you decided to stop by my channel today. So we're going to dive right into a word that has been placed on my spirit for the past couple days. Today we're going to be talking about 3 signs God is saying it is time to go. And I know this is pretty popular, especially based off of my last video when I said it is time for a big change. And for some of us, that change is going to include a physical move, a geographic move, a different location. We are ascending to different planes. God is repositioning his kingdom children right now. And for some of us, that's going to include a pretty drastic move, whether that's across state lines, county lines, country lines, borders, you name it. God is possible. God is able to do all of those things and more, and anything is possible in this time. So how do you know when it's time? How do you know when God has been saying, it's time to go? He's been nudging you, but you're not sure where to go, how to do it. You may not have finances, resources, or it may not seem like the perfect time to get going, but God is saying now is the time, and I will make the way if you trust me. So I wanted to start us off in a Bible verse, a favorite verse of mine that's really been speaking to me lately, and it comes from Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. And I'll be reading from the New King James Version as you see here on the screen. Now the Lord had said to Abram, "Get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." So I thought this verse was particularly relevant to what God is saying to some of us, because God is literally just telling us, move and I will show you the way. Take the first step and I will meet you on the other side. And God is not, he's not just going to tell you where to go and leave you completely clueless. He's going to be with you. Not only has he gone before you and cleared out a place for you in the land that he will show you, but he's also with you. He's right inside of you. The Holy Spirit lives inside of you, and he is your guide. He's your day-to-day guide on how to carry out the things that the Lord has called you to do. And so out of this verse and some experiences that have been happening in my life, I wanted to give you 3 signs that the Lord is telling you it is time to go to the land that I will show you. So the first sign that we're going to talk about today is the fact that your provision has dried up in your current location. Sis, my goodness, if you only knew. If you only knew what I was going through on the other side of this video, this audio right now, like, it is a true testament to the fact that the Lord has been telling me, personally, that it is time to go. I would never speak from a place of something that wasn't personally affecting me in this moment. I'm always going to speak from a place of this is happening to me and the Lord is telling me to talk about it, to share it. So the first thing that's been happening to me, and I'm sure it's been happening to a lot of us who God is telling to move, your provision has dried up. Either you got laid off from a recent job, or you've been unemployed for a long time. You haven't been able to secure another job, or you're in between jobs right now, and you have this feeling of, the Lord is going to provide for me. And you're right. He is. He's absolutely going to provide for you. But for right now, he is letting you know through your provision scarcity that this isn't where he wants you. Where God guides, he provides. I can assure you, sis, wherever he's guiding you, there's provision on the other side. And if you're not receiving provision in this current location wherever you are in the world that you're listening to this, if you're not receiving provision, it could be a sign that he's telling you, I have provision elsewhere. And it could be exactly where you think he's leading you. So I encourage you, if you are in a transition right now with your finances, and not just finances, your provision goes beyond just finances. Of course, the Lord knows what we need. He knows we need food and clothes and shelter. He knows these things, and he provides these things for his children divinely. You are always divinely provided for. But if you haven't been able to get ahead, if you haven't been able to make enough to be able to save and put away and tithe and cover all of your needs and some of your wants, that could be a sign that your provision is saying, time's up. It's time to go to another place where it's flowing with milk and honey. So let's move on to the second sign that God is telling you it's time to move. And this is the need to expand and grow has been increasing, but you lack the space or resources. So basically what this means You have either physically busted out of the place where you are now, whether that is you're packed up, you're all packed up, your boxes are everywhere, you're living out of boxes, living out of a suitcase, and the need to settle, the need to expand, the need to sort of lengthen your proverbial table, just make room has been compromised. You're in a place where you can't grow, you can't expand, your growth has been stunted. The need to expand territory and land is the desire is there, but it is not physically possible to do so. This could be a sign that God is telling you it's time to move. He wants to grow you. God moves us from faith to faith. He doesn't want any of us to remain stagnant or stuck in one location or place forever. And it's not always a physical location, but a mental place. He wants to move you, he wants to grow you, and he wants to mature you. And that can only happen by growing your territory, growing your land, growing your mind, investing in growth, mental growth, emotional growth. So if the need to physically expand, to take over more space, if you're busting out of a home, let's just say your family, you've been in a family home for a while and you just had a child, or you just adopted a new person into your family, or someone has come to live with you and there's not enough space, if you're running out of space, if there are boxes everywhere and you have storage wars going on in your home with where to put stuff and where to save stuff, this could be a sign that the Lord is telling you, I want to move you, I want to grow you, and I want to expand your territory. So the third sign that the Lord is telling you it's time to move, the relationships around you, have begun to change drastically, or I should say that the relationships around you have changed drastically. So this one is a little bit more subjective because it can either be positively or negatively. Your relationships could have changed for the good and it could be a time to say goodbye, or your relationships have changed negatively and it could be that you are outgrowing some relationships around you. So let's start with the positives. So let's just say you've recently come in contact with someone from your past. Someone from your past has popped up and it was a really nostalgic time seeing them again and being in contact with them, or catching up with them and seeing how their life has been, or you've run into a family member that you haven't seen for a long time. And it was just so nice to see them, and it just reminded you of a previous time in your life, or a better time in your life, or it reminded you of another version of yourself. But you know in your heart, you really do know in your heart that you are moving on to something different. That could be a positive sign that, the Lord is showing you a relationship has changed. Since the last time you saw that person, you've grown and the Lord has grown you. He's taking you from faith to faith, from glory to glory, and he's ready to take you to another level. Sometimes that will happen. Sometimes the Lord will allow people from your past to come back and show you just how far you've come since you were last in their presence. So that's something to keep in mind and to look out for. Have relationships change positively? Have you been able to smooth things over with someone from your past that you never thought you'd even be on talking terms with them ever again? Or you were able to reconnect with a longtime friend, or possibly even an ex, and just see that they were in a better place than when you last left them. And now you feel like you can move on peacefully, knowing that you closed that chapter and ended it well. So now let's talk about how relationships could change for the negative. Unfortunately, it is possible that God will allow some relationships to fall apart in this time where you're winding down and packing up and getting ready to move on to a new plane. He could be showing you that those relationships are detrimental to your next level. You can't take these people with you. You're surrounded by energy or influences that are negative, that will separate you from what God has planned for you. And so he's saying it's time to say goodbye to these people. It's time to move on. Not forever. And technology makes it so easy that you can keep in touch with people who are maybe they're a close family member that you can't necessarily live with, but you can still be in contact with. There's always ways to keep up with folks, loved ones, and friends. But maybe that person just isn't going to belong in your next chapter. Maybe they're not going to make it. They're not going to level up with you wherever God is taking you. Not everyone can go along. Not everyone can accompany you to this new place. So sometimes your relationships may be strained. They may feel awkward. It may feel uncomfortable to be around certain people. You may just be feeling estranged or distant or out of touch with some people in your life who used to mean the world to you, or your energy used to be so synced up, and now you find yourself on two different pages. This could be a sign that, the Lord is taking me to a different level, taking me to a different place, and this person can't necessarily come with me, or our relationship won't be able to survive this next move. So these are definitely three important signs to keep in the back of your mind, especially when you feel the Spirit moving in you. And I pray that these were helpful signs, and I pray that they were right on time, just divine timing in your process of reaching out to the Holy Spirit and really asking Him and seeking His face as He prepares you for this next move. So my prayer for you today, sis, is that you truly lean into God, really seek His face, really try to understand and get confirmation, which is so important, to get confirmation on where the Lord is taking you, what's your purpose there. If He's already shown you your purpose, He will definitely show you the location. He will reveal it, I promise you. It's not going to leave you to stumble around in the dark. And exactly what I am sharing with you is the exact same process that I am currently undergoing. God is taking me somewhere new. He's starting a new chapter. We're going to start a new chapter soon in my life, and it's going to include a physical relocation. And so I wanted to share some of the signs that are happening to me so that it can bless you and help serve as confirmation for where the Lord is taking you. So, as always, I'm Samara Bharath Ministries, proud to be at your service, proud to be a servant for the kingdom. And I just pray that this word has blessed you, and I'll see you in my next video.